Hi guys, welcome to Yappatoons, where I yap about my interests, such as anime, K-dramas, K-pop, books, and more. And today I'm going to be talking about one of my many favorite Haikyuu characters, Sugawara. Yay! I've been a fan of the anime Haikyuu for a couple of years now. I found it in, I think, 2021. Everybody bring out your pitchforks. Yes, I got into anime during the COVID-19 anime boom. I must confess, I was not an anime fan since I was 4 years old, except for the Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z that basically everyone grew up watching. But yeah, I found it 4 years ago, and since then I've had this habit of rewatching it at least once every year or so. However, I didn't watch it last year, so I randomly decided to revisit my roots and rewatch the first season. So now I'm gonna make that the internet's problem. But as I previously mentioned, today I'm gonna be talking about the very stable, very capable third year of Karasuno High, Kōshi Sugawara, and why I really like him. So Suga's introduced in episode 2, and immediately he's the best character. He, alongside Daichi and Tanaka, meets the legendary king of the court, and they're getting to know him, and our boy Hinata gets pushed to the sidelines while they all talk to Kageyama. But Hinata gets their attention and tells everyone that he's gonna be the ace of Karasuno. And though Tanaka laughs at him since he's too short to be an ace, Suga tells him that it's good to shoot for the stars in whatever he wants to accomplish. That's a fleeting moment, but it really shows how nice and genuine Suga is as a person. Instead of being quick to shoot down Hinata's ambitions based on his appearance, he supports and encourages his dreams, even though they don't really know each other. And I think that tells a great deal about his character. His willingness to encourage anyone who needs it shows how much of a kind person he is. Even after Daichi challenges Hinata and Kageyama to a practice match, and by that I mean Hinata and Kageyama were the ones who challenged him, but I digress. Suga makes the sacrifice to come early to practice with Hinata, Kageyama, and Tanaka before school starts and Daichi gets there. He uses his own time to make sure that they get some practice in as a team before their practice match. We also see how selfless and kind Suga is when it comes to deciding who will be the starting setter for the Aoba Josei practice game. He and the rest of the team know that Kageyama would be the better fit, as he is an he's really talented and a gifted setter. Personally, I don't think that I would be able to handle that situation with as much grace and acceptance as he did, but that's just him. I mean, he's older and has more experience. It's also his last year in high school, and it's going to be the last year he'll be able to play on the same team alongside his fellow third years. So he has every reason to feel mad and upset about the situation. But he doesn't. He doesn't make a fuss or anything about it. He puts aside his own desires in order to do what's beneficial for the team, sacrificing what may be his last few times to play the game he loves with the people he admires. He does all this with a warm smile and an encouraging word as to not let Kageyama feel any guilt about the situation, displaying his kindness and grace. Aside from being very kind, another quality I really admire in Suga is his perceptiveness/awareness. Throughout the entire first season, we see how he treats each of his teammates. He's gentle and nurturing when dealing with the first years. He's a little tougher and sarcastic with the second years, and he's almost downright brutal when it comes to his fellow third years. And it's not that he's mean or likes anybody particularly more than another, but it's because he's able to see what each person needs and how it will help them. The first years are fresh into the high school scene, and some of them can be really nervous and anxious, particularly Hinata and Tadashi. But he's there to give them an encouraging word when they need it. The second years can be a bit boisterous and easily carried away, so a snarky remark or two can help ground them a bit and keep them focused. And when it comes to the third years, he's known them the longest, so he isn't afraid to dish out hard truths when needed. I feel like this particular trait of his was really highlighted in his dedicated episode 21, The Talented Upperclassman. In this episode, the Karasuno team is playing against Aoba Josei with Kageyama as a setter, but he's starting to lose his cool as Oikawa, Demon Spawn, is getting under Kageyama's skin, and he's starting to make rash and hasty decisions that he otherwise would not be making. So, Coach Yukai swaps him out with Suga. Coach does this to 1, raise the already falling morale of the team since Oikawa and the rest of the Aoba Josai team have been shutting down the Karasuno players. So, putting in their trusted upperclassmen is sure to help accomplish this. And 2, to help Kageyama calm down, while also allowing him to gain some wisdom from someone who has more experience playing the game. And so, Suga's put out onto the court, and he brings a fresh energy to the team's tired mood. Even Oikawa notices that he's very meticulous and technical just based on the way he stretches, and that definitely brings a bit of an edge to him. Suga's very aware of his own weaknesses. He tells Sugashima about him being a low blocker and how he's usually targeted because of that. In order to counter that, he makes a plan to switch spots with him just as Seijo goes to attack, blocking their attack. After that, he compliments Suki, and as he continues to play on, he really helps ease the tension from his fellow players, pushing out the negative energy and lifting everyone's spirits. He even uses his observational skills to help Hinata earn a point on Seijo, since he was able to watch on the sidelines and keep a level head and sharp open eyes. Hinata points out how he's really nice to him, and Inoshita lets him know that Suga talks to all the players to get a feel of their emotional state. And him talking regularly to Suki helps him understand him more, since they aren't that all familiar with each other, and Suki doesn't talk very much. He does all this in order to have an idea of who to set to and when. Tanaka gets sent a set because he broke the flow in the first set after Oikawa tried to shut him down, and Tanaka's energetic presence can really uplift the team's morale, and Suga was right. Tanaka scored the point, and the team spirit was sent through the roof. Though his time out on the court was short-lived, Suga still made a lasting impact and was able to share some of his wisdom with Kageyama. Because of Suga's actions while he played, Kageyama gives encouragement and a positive attitude a go. He even pushes himself to communicate with Suki, someone who he really doesn't get along with. Through this, we see how much of an impact he's made on the game and the team, both on and off the court. A final thing I want to bring up that makes Suga so admirable is his goal-oriented spirit. Suga, like every other player in Karasuno and character in Haikyuu, wants to stay on the volleyball court for as long as he possibly can. Though he would prefer to be the one to always make the sets for his teammates, he realizes that the team has a better shot of advancing and being able to play longer with Kageyama as the setter. Because he knows this, he's able to accept what needs to be done for the team. But he never lets him not being in the starting lineup tear him down, and he trains just as hard as everyone else. He's very much aware that he doesn't possess as much raw talent and technical ability that Kageyama does, so he's proactive and compiles all the signals that he's created for his sets and gives them to all the first years to make it easier on them and for there to be something that other teams can't anticipate. And that's very useful since Oikawa had watched all their previous games and was able to figure out the code that Hinata and Kageyama were using for their quick attacks. But since Suga didn't play in the other matches, Oikawa wasn't able to see his signals and learn them, which was very beneficial to the team. We also see how passionate he is about the sport. When he has the opportunity to leave the team and focus on preparing for college entrances, but he decides to stay, and he helps persuade the other third years to stay as well. He has perfect grades, and leaving now to focus on preparation would be the smarter move, but volleyball and the team means so much to him, so he is willing to make some sacrifices in order to keep playing for just a little longer. I really admire his dedication and love for the sport. It's true and genuine. Suga's kind and caring personality make for someone to cheer for. His perceptiveness and attention to detail show how he's not weak and has his own strengths that make you believe in him. And his determination and his eyes that never move from the prize make you trust that he'll always come out on the other side, victorious and powerful. All these traits and more make him a truly admirable character who I've come to appreciate more and more every time I watch a series. I hope you enjoyed me yapping about why I love Suga, and if you did, please like this video and click the subscribe button. What's your favorite thing about Suga? Who are some of your favorite Haikyuu characters? And if there's anything you want to hear me yap about in particular, please comment below. I hope you have a good day. Bye!